know what I forgot to do?
No, what?
I forgot to close the millions of things that slows down my already hating me internet. And we didn't go live until the second slide.
No, what I thought was funny, and in case anyone is actually watching, how do you get a kid to shut up mid-sentence? You just tell them, I'm going now live. I'm going live now, be quiet. And they walk away because they know mom is something. So even if you don't have to go live, just tell your kid you are and they'll walk away because they don't want to be on camera.
They want nothing to do with it at all.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
now, if you have the type of kid that likes to be on camera, don't use that. However, hello everyone. I am Sarah. This is Brittany. And this is our first new version of going live on Thursdays. And what makes this new, Brittany? What makes this new?
Well, let's talk about the evolution, right?
Oh, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
We started with Rolodex topics,
We did.
which is going to be moving to Friday, and it's going to be me and different business owners weekly, just doing Rolodex topics.
Hmm.
Then we went and we supported a really amazing friend of ours
Hmm.
for a little bit, and we were over on the Creative Spirit, and we did a little bit of stuff with the Roku channel. Um,
We
and
did.
then we are now here at TKN, which I don't know why, but I love TKN.
Well, I like it because it's like NBC, right? PBS, right? Like, um, so the TKN though is our new adventure where lots more details are going to come out in December with everything full-fledged in January. But you'll see our little logo up there, and I might be on the wrong side because I
You're
never get
right,
the
it's right
thing.
there.
Wonderful. So it is the Keystone Network, and we're not going to go into everything that this goes into because it'll be on our website when that is up and ready. Um, but if you're interested in our new adventure of anything that Brittany and I do, because whatever we do is cool, you should go follow us on all of our socials. Okay, so we are on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we are on especially YouTube. There's a little bit of a thing right there. Pay attention, YouTube. All right. So if you don't follow us anywhere else, I do recommend going to follow us on YouTube. Brittany is throwing up our personal sites. And you know what? I'm probably going to throw up the Keystone Network stuff on my site at some point. So I've already added it to my partner page, but there's no actual link going anywhere. It just is coming soon. But yes, at the Keystone Network is available wherever you can find us, social medias, but definitely find us on YouTube. And we are excited. We are excited for all of these things to happen.
And you can find at the Keystone Network on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Oh, I forgot
Um,
Instagram. I
yep,
always forget Instagram.
I know we gotta figure that out. Um,
Well, my
all
personal
in one shot.
Instagram is all about teacups. If you go follow my personal Instagram, you're going to get some stuff about my business and then teacups. It's such a weird, like, so I forget it exists.
Unless I need a spot of tea.
Unless I need to post about tea. Yes.
I
So,
love that. But
yeah.
we got really lucky. Building this, we did a lot of Google, we did a lot of Chat GPT, we did a lot of what does words mean. It was kind of fun because it was like restarting a whole business together and really working together as a team to create those things. Um, but this hour, no matter what, no matter the evolution of this hour, it has always been Sarah and I focused on helping small to medium businesses. We both have so many friends who are entrepreneurs and always on the go. We wanted to really have a space where you could just go and get a 30-minute conversation on a topic. And now it could go an hour.
Well, and now, yeah, because we have no limitations. When
Hmm.
it's our own thing, you know what? You don't have to have limitations. It's
Yep.
kind of like, did you know you could eat cake not on birthdays? You can. You can go buy a birthday cake. And now that we're the whole shebang on this, we can make our own rules.
Yep, exactly. So
So,
we might run over the 30 minutes, we might stay under the 30 minutes, but mostly it's going to be led by that passion
yeah.
of helping other people. That's really what we want to do. Those business owners and just all of those things. It's important to us to make sure that you guys are fully supported and you have a place where you can find information, but also have a place where you have a voice.
And we did not have a set scheduled topic for today because we were going to talk a little bit about like how we got here and all of that. But I do actually have a topic because something happened this afternoon, and I was actually on a call with Brittany, and I had to be like, "Can you just turn the music off for 5 seconds?" We were looking at music because I had to focus on sending this email. But the reason I had to send this one email was because this business I'm working with, and it's for like a thing for the kids. It's not like a business I'm working with, it's a business I'm doing something for, but they make the process so hard. Okay. It is like pulling teeth to get this done, to get the paperwork submitted, to get the things done, to fill out forms, whatever. So I want us to talk a little bit about setting some of those things up for your business and doing it in a way that's easy uh for your clients, right? Not easy for you, easy for them. And I'd love to have Brittany's first thoughts on that.
We know I'm all about the customer.
Yes.
I am, I, when I go to restaurants, I get accused of being mean.
Oh, Lord.
But it's really about your customer.
Mhm.
It and Sarah and I both have worked in multiple different industries on multiple different levels. I just left a full-time job that I moved to part-time because I didn't believe in their customer service.
Sure.
Um, One of the big things inside of that space, like you're talking about, is if I need you to fill out 100 forms, then I need to make it to where you're not frustrated.
Thank you.
Um, I understand that you might need 100 forms. One of my biggest pet peeves is I'm in Grand Junction. We have public transportation owned by a private company,
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
and they will leave your child on the side of the road. If your child doesn't have a sticker that is the size of a dime attached to their school ID, your kid could be left on the side of the road.
Oh,
For me, I think if you're looking at anybody under the age of 25 and leaving them on the side of the road, we've got issues. For
I
them,
agree.
they want you to go online, fill out a form so that the government will pay them for your kid to ride free. And if your kid doesn't have that sticker, then if your kid is of a certain age, your kid could be considered a college student. And now they have college students who the college aren't paying them for those rides. So when you're looking at the aspect of convenience, so you can get paid, or you just left my 16-year-old across town, it's very difficult. So if you, and I get it, it's one, it was a one-page form. I filled it out, but then my 16-year-old left their sticker at home, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of different things that go around what does it look like for you, the company, and what does it look like for the client. And if you have to fill out 100 pages so that the government can support it, or so that this can make sure that you have funds as a business to continue to do the things you do, there needs to be some leeway so that your
Hmm.
clients aren't frustrated. It needs to be, hey kid, you get a free ride because you're 16 and you leave your stuff. Or, the frustration just leads to people not wanting to use your product.
Right.
So it's not worth the 100 pages if every time I'm trying to fill out a PDF, I have to open up a whole different program.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get
Exactly.
that.
And this goes to another example. I don't want to call out the company I was working with because in the end they do a lot of wonderful things for children that have learning disabilities. So I just want to like say that their process is weird, but I don't want to call them out. But a process I will call out because thousands of businesses do that. This part is again, it's a process that is complicated and should be less complicated, and that's posting a job. If you post a job and you say upload your resume, and then you say fill out your last 20 jobs with details, all you're doing is limiting the people that will apply. Because I'm telling you right now, I probably wouldn't apply for that. Number two, it's making people frustrated already with your company. So when you're figuring out forms for your company, whether it's an application or just a sign up to get my newsletter, right? For a newsletter, just ask for name, email, phone number if they're willing to give it, but don't ask for their whole life history just to get your newsletter. And I've had some people ask for that too.
And that's really important when you're thinking about, okay, job application. Well, why wouldn't somebody want to fill out 20 job app because they purposely made their resume for your business.
Yep.
If you're applying for work, you should have almost 3 different resumes, one for sales, one for management, one for
Mhm.
this, because depending on the position you're filling out, then and now you're asking me to take the time to go back, figure out which thing I need to put into which, and you're also discounting my resume.
Right.
Why am I making a resume if I then have to fill out 100 questions?
Hmm.
Um, and if you're looking for spelling errors or grammar or whatever, they're copying and pasting from the resumes they already have. And you might think that sounds like a 10-second job, but it doesn't because they have to literally go through everything. And your box probably doesn't fit the characters or the
Or it doesn't let you have bullet points, which is another problem. I have done the cut and paste thing before, and their little box doesn't let bullet points. So it just looks like a hobgobbled mess in there when it's not. And it's like,
Yep,
So
exactly.
in a sense, for me, the nutshell is when you're creating forms for your business, no matter what that form is, think about the user, not the company. Get the information that you need and not necessarily the information you want with the first form they're filling out. Once they become a customer, once they become a subscriber, once they become a client or whatever the word is that you have for your company, then you can start asking them for more information, right? You can ask for that more in depth stuff. But make the first connection with you as easy as possible. And I think you will make a difference in how you communicate in that way.
I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I heard my internet scratch out. I might leave this call and Sarah might be on her own until I get back. So I'm gonna
Um,
apologize ahead of time. But also with that being said, Sarah and I send each other our forms. Hey,
mhm.
can you go look at this? Hey, can you fill now? Sarah will send it to me for ease of use. I tend to send it to Sarah because I need my grammar checked.
But both things are important,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, both things are important. And for me, I also send Brittany things for does this layout look okay? Right? Because a lot of times um, I tend to want to put a lot of stuff on one thing. And I've recently sent her some one pagers that I was like, is this too much information on one page? Right? Do I need to maybe make it bigger, smaller, different? But having a third party, in a sense, right, look at things is very, very important. So if
And we
you're
found a
not
QR
sure,
code error.
we did?
Yeah. when we did that. We found a QR code. The
Oh, yeah,
QR
yeah,
code
yeah.
was too
On my
small.
right. Sorry, I misunderstood. I was
And
like,
that's the
I
thing
thought you
is
meant
you
like
might not
really.
no, but that's the thing is you might not even notice that
Right.
you might not even think of something that needed to be checked that somebody else is like, "Oh, I tried to scan that and it didn't work."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I had made
that's
it too
huge.
small so it was unreadable as a QR code. So, and when you're sent, it was a PDF. So it's not even it was on somebody's computer screen where they could make it bigger or do whatever. Yeah. So things like that, true. Those are things that you might not think about that somebody else would.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So make sure you have a buddy. Make sure if you do something, have some of your employees go through the system. Because if your employee is frustrated with the system, no matter how easy it is on their end, when people call, I work for a call center. Yes, I understand this is a very difficult process. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't work at that level.
Yeah.
You don't want them to have that response. You don't want them to say, I know, I've done it. Nobody listened when I asked them to fix it.
Yeah, and I love that idea of having somebody go through something, the whole process. So I worked for a lot of nonprofits, and again, I don't like to call people out for um, the things they do. So I'll just tell you what they did versus who did it. Um, just in case they get employees there, I don't want them to know the trick. So once a year, the CEO at the time would create a fake account that would go all the way through the system in order to get emergency assistance funding. And what it was is they would create this account, like they would upload everything that they were supposed to upload, even have like their cousin do the phone calls to like play the part, and they would go through the whole process and take notes. This was bad. This was good. This should be done different. This person was rude. This person was nice. That type of thing. And it really helps you look at your process, even at a bigger level, right? Somebody going through your employment process or just filling out the form. That's the other thing Brittany and I have done. We filled out forms for each other, just Google forms where you just fill it out and you're like, did you realize you're requiring XYZ, right? Or like, this is a drop down. Why? There's no options, right? Or like just little things like that that you won't notice because you went through it or looked at it 22 times. Um, but also, if you're doing the same process over and over again, a bigger company, you could be missing a small part in there that you don't even realize it's going wrong until somebody goes through that process step by step.
Yeah. And if your employees know the process, and when somebody calls and they're like, hey, I can't figure this out, the employee can walk them through it.
Hmm.
Which is huge. Even if it is something that, like, no matter what, I get it. Sarah gets it. Sometimes there's just things that you cannot, in any circumstance, do a different way because of the program that you're using. And we had that conversation earlier. Not
We
every
did.
program is perfect, and you have to kind of stick with what you have. So we understand that. But when somebody calls and your staff is able to say, we understand, and this is something that other people have a problem with, it's due to the program we use, let me help you get that fixed.
Hmm.
Instead of, well, I don't know. I haven't had that issue. Nobody calls about that. You get a much better response, especially if your whole team is aware of issues and troubleshooting those issues.
That's true. That is all true. Um, all right. So I'm actually throwing this back at you because I came up with a really good first topic. I'm very proud of myself. So you need to come up with second topic. Woohoo.
Second topic. All right. So, second topic. Um, let's talk about one of the things that you and I have done a lot of work in. We've gone through a lot of branding conversation with everybody. We've gone through a lot of building, a lot of just different things that really matter in the business world. But one
Hmm.
of the things that we haven't talked about because it wasn't anything coming up is holidays. And how do you
Oh.
manage your holiday time, your family time, and your business time? Now, we did talk a little bit about this a while ago with time management, but I think that when it comes to holidays, it's a bigger conversation because you really need to look at how much holiday time you want to spend with your family, how much holiday time you decided you're going to use your business as a scapegoat,
Mm.
and if you're using your business as a scapegoat, would it be better just to go hang out with friends, right? Don't bury yourself in work just so that you don't have to see people. Create other opportunities for yourself so that you're getting that break during the holidays. Holidays are stressful. And if you're avoiding family, it's really good to at least not avoid friends. So Linda Wilson had a huge conversation about self-care. We always look at her with loving life's journey.
Yeah.
Um,
And next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern,
yep.
newreality.me. Linda is doing another kind of holiday stress thing. Brittany, can you throw that in the chat if you can
Yes,
find
I
that
will.
link? So newreality.me is for females, women-based program, women-owned companies. But we we understand that stress is for everyone, and we share it readily with all genders, unfortunately. But this particular event is only for women and women-owned companies.
But
Um,
Linda
if
also, if you go to her website, which I'll put in
she
there,
has other
she has
options.
yep.
Hmm. She has options for all genders at that point. So check that out. But yes, the only person that would even be remotely watching this would be my partner's dad, and I think he would laugh if he actually heard what I'm going to say. But there have been more than enough times that I have been at family events that I've used either homework or work as a way to just go sit in front of my computer for 2 hours and scroll Facebook or read a book on Kindle Online, um, without actually doing homework or doing work, because sometimes you just need a getaway. And so Brittany's not talking about that, right? Sometimes you just need to walk away from family. It's more along the lines if you're using it to completely bypass family events. And that has happened to me in the past too. I was actually talking to somebody this morning on a call, um, and she's having a solo Thanksgiving this year. She was like, I'm just going to be home. I need it. I'm single. I want to do this and I just want to be alone. And there were 3 Thanksgivings in a row for me that I did just that. And I was just like, I don't want to deal with family. I don't want people to be like, oh, you got divorced. Oh, you're here instead of with your actual family. Right? Like all of the things you don't need to hear in the world. And if you need to do that, that's perfect. But if you're doing work and things to avoid family and you're not at a heart place that this is the right thing to do, go to one of Linda's uh, meetings, one of her conversations, and she'll give you some of those tools to find the right mental place where you need to be for the holidays.
Yeah.
So,
And really look at that workload. If you don't need to have something done until 2025, don't do it. Don't even schedule yourself to sit down and get it done. This is going to be a stressful time for everybody. It's okay to give yourself the grace. Somebody told me the other day I was giving myself grace. Give yourself the
she's
grace.
not very good at it, but she was doing it the other day. I'll give credit.
But give yourself the grace to really just take the downtime.
Yeah.
If you don't have clients because it's holiday season, then don't have clients. Just take your time. I always take the third week or the fifth week of different months off, and you want to really look at that time and make it a space where you can work business, but don't be heavy in it. Do some
Well,
stuff
and I
for
want to
yourself.
clarify a little bit about what you do because when you say I take the 5th week off, but so she
I work
plans
on
for
business
things.
lightly.
Yeah, yeah, but she plans things like, meetings and stuff for, like, the 1st and 3rd and the 2nd and 4th week, and so instead of throwing the whole schedule off on the months that have 5 weeks, she just doesn't have those scheduled meetings on that week, and she focuses on marketing or focuses on things that she's been avoiding in her business or, moving her apartment around 72 times in 1 week, but we're not getting into that. Alright, so
You get the dog.
what happened to the dog?
You get the dog now.
Yes. Wait, isn't that a different dog?
Well, it is.
Oh,
No,
by
she
the way,
moved.
there's like 15 dogs at the house. I keep getting them confused, but there was a gray dog there and now there's a black dog.
No, it was her, but she was belly up, so it
Oh,
was all of her white.
wonderful. Um,
But, yeah, you get the dog now, but that's what the point is. The point is
you
you
get to do
can
the things that you've been avoiding. And if that
yeah.
and I'm teasing you that you move around your apartment 12 times, but if that's what you want to do on that 5th week, but it's an easy way to give yourself some space to have that catch up. Right? To do the things that you have been avoiding or have been, just not having time for. And what, there's at least 4 months a year that have a weird 5th week, right?
Yeah, and I steal the September week and put it in the October week, so I get holiday or Halloween and Charlie's birthday.
Oh, sure.
Um, but when it comes to the holidays, why I'm bringing that up is because you have half weeks.
Yeah.
In the United States, you have our Christmas is at a weird time. It's like the end of the week this year. So you have the beginning of the week where 9 out of 10, most people don't wanna work, and then you have that week between Christmas and New Year's where nobody wants to show up for anything, and
And
then you
even if
also
your company makes you show up, nobody does anything. You sit there and look at each other.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, and you have that week of Thanksgiving where you have 3 days and nobody can get any work done because you have 3 days. So look at those times and really decide, is it really, you know, does it do good for me to pay for somebody to come in who really isn't gonna get like, I get it. Payroll, accounting, those things, yes, everybody needs to get paid. But are they things that you really need your staff to come in for? Are they things that people couldn't accomplish at home? Really, how can you manage the holidays without overstressing everybody and making we had COVID, we all worked from home and everything still ran. Do they have to
I
come
agree.
in the week they don't want to, where they want to lounge in their pajamas?
And
Um,
and I'm telling people right now, for it's been 17 years, okay, that I have been working remote or hybrid. And I was doing it long before it was cool or required, and I'm telling you right now, it can be done. I've never had a job that wasn't at least hybrid. So, if anybody has questions and you're watching this on how to make that happen with a small, medium, or even large business, grab time on my calendar and I'll tell you how to make it work.
yeah, I was gonna say there's only been one instance that I've come across where that isn't necessarily something that you can do, and that's
Right.
because of
I worked at Wendy's for 6 years. I couldn't work from Wendy's from home. I wanted to. Hey, if
right?
Wendy's can figure this crap out, I'll do it. But
I
no.
wasn't even thinking that. I was actually thinking legitimate, like, business that works on computers.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. I was being
I was
funny.
thinking of people who hold Social Security numbers,
Oh,
mortgages,
yeah, yeah.
different things like that. Those are more difficult because you do have access to things that are in locked terminals, so doing that from home,
Could
bank
be
work,
different.
those are all
Sure.
different kind of things to look at. But in the long run, small businesses, you're not holding a lot of stuff that's at risk when you allow people to work from home.
Mhm.
And there's ways to really make sure that they have a system that is safe. But with that being said, look at the holidays, look at your staff, look at how you can support them. How can you support yourself as a business owner? I've worked for more than a few companies where the business owner took off for the holidays, but everybody
Mhm.
was expected to show up. So those kind of things look really bad. It just looks bad. My mom, she runs an entire place, and she takes Fridays off, but she still works 60 hours Monday through Thursday, right? Yeah, she does. She's insane. But she's insane. But she does the work, and then she gets a 3-day weekend, and all of her employees get one 3-day weekend off a month because they work Tuesday to Saturday, and then they get 3 days off, and then Tuesday to Saturday. So it's a really great thing that she does, but she shows fairness in her pay. See, Gray Dog is
Yeah,
back.
you gotta move the camera a little bit. See, now that's the dog I remember. Apparently, when we're all sprawled out, showing the world our business, we're gray. When we're not showing the world our business, we're black. Got it.
Yep, exactly. I call that
What's that one's
hussy
name?
sleeping.
What's that one's name?
This is Darby.
Darby. Okay. Just
Yep.
so everybody knows, that's Darby showing all the business. All right.
Mhm.
So, no, we love dogs. It's good. I think dogs are better than humans in most regards. So anyway, um, I think I think going through all of the topics that we have went through today, you know, think of things from your customer's point of view, and then as we get into the holidays, take care of you first. So,
You and your
in a
staff.
sense, well, yeah, I mean, from like with forms and stuff, think of customers first, right? Make it an ease for them versus an ease for you. But over the holidays, when I say make it an ease for you and not them, I mean your staff, you, the business.
Yep.
Make sure that there is time for everybody. Um, in fact, if you want to make your staff super, super happy, give them a half day, middle of the week. Just be like, I'm closing everything on a random Wednesday. Go do your Christmas shopping before you have to pick up your kids after school or before you have to make dinner. Just give them a random half day off. It was a long time ago, but I actually had a boss who did that every year. It would be mid-December. Just go take a half day before everybody gets home, before everything, and do your last minute shopping. It was great.
I used to go to a laundromat when I was married. My husband and I would drop off all of our laundry at a laundromat, and right at December, they would give us a free drop off.
You're
Now, mind
horrible.
you, my husband and I always tipped them very well when, because they were folding and doing all the
Sure.
things, so we tipped very well. But I always, like, right around December, I'd bring all the blankets and everything and just hope that that was the day that I got the free envelope.
No, and here's the thing, quick tip, it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about what you just said. So when I was in Maryland, I lived somewhere where I didn't have laundry in the building. And it was only for about a couple of years. So I would go to a laundromat like once every, couple of weeks. I'd load it all into the car, get going. And then one day I'm talking to this lady and she's like, yeah, you usually don't have that much laundry. And I'm like, I have like a boatload of laundry, right? She's like, I have 4 kids. You don't have any laundry. She goes, you know that they do the laundry for you here. And for only like for the amount you have, it'd probably be like 10 more dollars than what you're spending in the
To
machines.
store
And
up your hours.
yeah, I went and got a quote and it was. Now, it was just like I was like spending X amount of dollars. It was like $10 more per time. It was amazing. So if you have the option to do it and you have an extra 10, $20, check out your laundromat and see if they'll do that for you.
Yeah, I mean, my husband to this day still drops off his own laundry and gets it done. But it's one, you don't have to sit at the laundromat. You don't have to remember to rotate. They fold, they hang, they do all of it. You just
Yep.
have to put it
And then they
away.
text you or call you and tell you when it's done.
Exactly. And
So,
you just put it away. So
yeah.
it's good stuff. But treat yourself this holiday. Really look at your business. How does it affect your clients? And how can you take some holiday time and space? For those of you who are retailers, we get it. This conversation is a joke to you on holiday.
I'm
I didn't
sorry.
want to leave without saying that. We understand if you are in retail, this is not the conversation for you, but it could be the conversation for you next year before you get hit hard or in your downtimes where you can give your clients or your customers a little bit of not your staff and yourself the perks of, hey, we have this time to breathe. Let's go do these things before we stress ourselves out.
And maybe like if you're in a retail spot, maybe you think like, okay, my company doesn't do anything around President's Day. So every year on President's Day, I'm going to give my whole staff a 4-day weekend.
Yep.
You get my point? Something like that. So, just in the middle of, January, right? Or middle of July, we're doing Christmas in July. So everybody gets, 3 days off type thing. Figure out a way that can work for your staff if you're retail.
Yep, exactly. And if you're retail, ask your staff what works best. They're the ones on the front lines. They're the ones that are going to be able to tell you what they need and what's going to help the most. So, with that being
Definitely.
said, I am going to close out this session. And I think really join TKN. Follow us on all the things because we have some big
I
things
agree.
coming in 2025. And we do have a cocktail hour next week. So Eventbrite, look up
Oh yeah.
Yep, I should
Yeah,
have dropped that
pre
link in there.
Thanksgiving. Before we end, she'll grab that link.
I'm gonna
So it
go
is
do that.
like a pre Thanksgiving. So it's Tuesday night. It's 5 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock Central.
7 o'clock
7
Eastern.
Eastern.
Yep.
Yep.
And I did
Math on
drop that
time
in
zones
there.
is not my strong suit.
Right?
So that's why we have Eventbrite. So go check that out. And you have all our links. So we are not going to do closing introductions. Go to our links, give us some SEO, and we will see you guys all next time.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much. Follow us, and we will see you next week.